Well, good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. Today of the Rhino, and we're looking at some beers. Today's beers are back off to the side of me. We're going to start with the biggest, baddest beer of the night. From Pile of Bones, just up the street. Well, downtown. But this is Pile of Bones Brewing Company's Space Cadet IPA. Now, I've heard that this is a great beer, but I've heard that from people that like IPAs. I haven't heard it from people that don't like IPAs, so, where are we at here? Space Cadet IPA. This well-balanced IPA has the right stuff to get you to the moon and back. Space Cadet IPA has a smooth but firm bitterness without bite. Late kettle additions and a dry hop of Centennial and Simcoe lend aromas of grapefruit, pine, and subtle fruitiness. Water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. This is 6.5% alcohol by volume, so they're right. It could get you to the moon and back. It could. She's a nice looking beer. Like, look at that. Look at that color. First and foremost, that is clear. Slightly off-white head. Lots of snap, crackle, pop. I can see my hand. You can see my hand. That is crystal clear. That's somewhat starting the amber hue. It's nice and golden colored. Sent out of the can first. Woo! Yeah, that has some grapefruit. That has grapefruit, pine, citrus. But it also has that resiny syrupiness that a lot of American pale ales end up having. How many of my friends have had this beer? That's a big question, eh? How many of my friends have had this one? Let's find out, shall we? None of my friends have had it. 1.4 thousand people have tapped it in. 3.75 out of 5 is the overall. Anything interesting said? No, nothing. I see a bunch of 5 out of 5s. People trying to mess with the setups here. Yeah. Let's just get into it, shall we? Sent from the glass. About the same as the can, just slightly less. I mean, it's not quite as in your face out of the can. I do like that the color there is very close to the color here. I really like when the SRM is like shown off on the front of the can. I really like that. All right, cheers. Okay. So that could have went a lot worse than it did. That's not horrible. It is hazy now, though. Can still see my hand, but it's not as crystal clear as it was. Soft, silky, very small, moderate carbonation. It does have that syrupy taste that I've become akin to with the Ontario Pale Ales. However, it's not as bitter. If you're wondering what's all over my hands, I have a rubber sealant. I was doing waterproof sealant on my garage, and the nozzle got clogged, and I wasn't wearing gloves because I didn't expect the nozzle to get clogged, and unclogging the nozzle went badly. Oh, yeah. That is rather nice. A little bit of... You know what, they're actually... And it's 6.5% alcohol, which is probably one of the higher ABV alcohol beers I've had since getting to Saskatchewan. But it does have a little bit of an alcohol warmth on the back of the palate, a little bit of just warming alcoholic presence. Not huge, but it's there. But other than that, a little bit of pine, a little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of orange, almost a touch of berry, and then the alcohol astringency right at the back. That's not a bad beer, though. That's an IPA that's approachable to people who are not huge IPA drinkers. If you're a big craft beer guy, but you're not a big IPA guy, this beer would be right up your alley still, I think, because it's not overly aggressively hopped. It's hopped. It is. It's hopped. It's an IPA, but it's not aggressively hopped. Like, I don't think I'd buy this again, but that's because it's not really my thing. But I think it's a very well-made beer, and I think there's a lot of people out there that would really like it. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10, because, again, I wouldn't buy it again, but I think that's a solid fucking beer. Space Cadet IPA from Pile of Bones. Thank you, guys.